Hello, everyone, and welcome to the happiest hour on earth. This is our last holiday episode that we're doing, and
Christmas
we're so
is next
excited.
week. I can't believe it.
Yeah,
It
oh my
came
gosh,
up so fast. December just flew by.
way too quick. Every year gets quicker, and it's sad.
Yeah, I like to enjoy the holidays like as long as possible, and they just seem to go quicker every single year.
And I think that's why we tend to kind of start celebrating before Thanksgiving, because it's like, we'll still celebrate Thanksgiving, but we know it goes so quick, so we're like, we need a little bit longer.
Got to extend the Christmas season a little bit.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And since this is our last holiday episode, we're going to be talking about something that really makes Christmas time so magical, and that is Christmas movies. So tonight we're going to be breaking down, or just kind of, discussing our favorite Christmas movies that are on Disney Plus, and maybe some specials in there as well. And then also talking, this is the first time I think we're diverting from Disney. We'll be talking about some Christmas movies that aren't on Disney Plus, and just talking about our favorites. And we both want to know what your guys' favorites are. Let us know if you agree with us, if you disagree with us, if there are some that are so special to you that we didn't add to our list. I think the greatest thing about Christmas movies are there's some that everyone enjoys, but there's also some that are just so special to you and your family. And so it's so much fun, and so I am so excited to get started on this, and let's just get this thing started.
Okay, so as Chris said, we're going to be talking about all of our favorite Christmas movies tonight. We have quite a few, and I'm pretty excited to discuss them with you guys. There might be some controversial opinions about certain movies. We'll see. But before we get into that, let's talk about our snack and drink for tonight. We made one of each, which doesn't usually happen, or at least not creative ones, at least. It's usually just churros for snacks. But
we started the podcast, trying every single week to do a snack
both.
and a drink from the parks. And we were like,
it just was,
how do we do this with the baby?
We were
with
stretching
work,
ourselves.
all this stuff. Yeah.
So it was a little difficult. But tonight we made both. Was difficult because the snack has not gone well for me 2 times that we've made it. So I'll just start with that, actually. We made beignets, as you can see, Mickey beignets, but these are the Christmas version that are in Disneyland right now, which is peppermint. It's like peppermint powdered sugar flavoring on top. So we made those tonight.
Tell everyone how you made them, because we were a little scared if it was gonna, turn out or not.
Yeah, so we found these on the Disneyland Christmas snack site where,
Disney
they talked
Parks
about
blog, yeah.
Disney Parks blog. And I saw that it was like powdered sugar and peppermint, and I was like, does that mean that there's like peppermint sprinkles of some kind that I've never seen? Like, how did they mix the two? So couldn't find anything like that. So we just decided that we were going to buy some candy canes and use our food processor to just grind them to a powder, and then add in some powdered sugar to that and grind it up a little bit more just to make it really well mixed.
Yeah.
And just put it over the top of the beignets. So we did that. It actually worked out really well. I kind of was worried that it wasn't going to grind the candy canes fine enough, but it did a great job. So
That was great.
So we did that. The beignets, I barely made 2 that actually kept their Mickey shape. Let me tell you, making beignets is not an easy task, at least for me. Maybe someone has mastered it, and if so, please tell me your secret, because I'm from the South. I have a lot of relatives there, and I would love to know how to make them well. But it is like the stickiest substance you will ever have to work with. It is so hard to keep its shape. I don't know if I just added too much liquid or something, too much water to the powder, but it was very difficult to keep the Mickey shape. So we barely just got 2 that are Mickey shaped. And we will have a reel for how we made them on Instagram if you would like to watch that process.
Yep.
But let's give the beignets a try.
Let's try these things.
They're not super, super hot anymore, unfortunately.
Man, this is getting like our table a huge mess, but
yeah, it's kind of like a snowstorm happened.
Oh man.
They are really good.
When I first took a bite, I was like, where's the peppermint? I just took the taste of the powdered sugar, but then you get the peppermint
Oh
at
yeah,
the
you
end.
get the peppermint.
Oh, that's good.
You definitely do.
Who would have ever
Very
thought that
Christmassy.
peppermint would go well with beignets?
Yeah, I like that actually. I mean, I don't think you can really top the classic beignets, but
Oh,
that is pretty good, especially for like a Christmassy snack to add that little peppermint hint in there. I think that's really good, and it's
Yeah, it's
mixed
subtle.
with the powdered sugar, so
subtle.
it's like almost how it should be, but just a little.
a little peppermint cake.
Something extra.
I actually really like that. Should I talk about the
good.
drink?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so tonight we made the Jingle All the Way. This can be found at Trader Sam's in Disneyland. Might be able to find it in Disney World as well at the Poly. But this drink comes with a special limited edition Nutcracker tiki mug that apparently are going pretty fast. So we were like, you know what?
We don't have that, but
Yeah.
we do have Mandalorian tiki mugs.
Oh man, if you're listening on like podcast platforms and like aren't watching right now, just find our Instagram. We take a picture of these things. But yeah, no, these things are incredible. But
Pretty legit.
this drink is strange. It has I totally forgot.
Oh my god!
But it's like a it's a
Do you want me to look it up?
bitters. It's a liqueur
Not full
that's kind of
on.
like spiced liqueur and bitters. So you know, kind of strange. That's the main alcohol there, and then you have a little bit of Kahlua. You have pineapple juice, lime juice, cream of coconut, and I think that's pretty much it. But sounded very, very interesting. But we wanted to make it since, you know, they've been putting it in these limited edition mugs. We're like, well, we have to try this before all the holidays are over. So we decided to make it. I don't know. We've been scared of certain recipes we've made before and they've turned out good. So I'm
It
curious
does
to
sound
try
pretty
this.
interesting. I don't know.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Cheers. I know. How do you
Cheers.
cheers with like a weird Mando and
I
Grogu
know.
mug? But here we go.
It's funny ears.
Oh. Okay. Okay, so I get a lot of pineapple juice, but I do get the spice in there. I get like the
spice.
holiday spice in there.
Yeah.
I maybe get a little bit of Kahlua, but I get the cream of coconut. Oh, that's actually really good. That just tastes like a great tiki drink on my end.
Yeah, okay, it's okay. I wouldn't say it's a favorite of mine, but it's decent.
I like it.
It's interesting.
The
It's just-
spice liqueur is interesting
Yeah.
in there. I kind of like it, especially for the holiday time, but
Yeah, it's good. Having had it here, I probably wouldn't go and order it there
yeah.
necessarily, but it's good. My favorite of the tiki drinks that we made for sure was the
Peppermint rum cocktail, right?
peppermint rum. My eyes are horrible.
I think that's cocktail.
Yeah.
So that's technically called Peppermint Barks at the at Trader Sam's, but for some
That one
reason
was
Disney
my
Parks
favorite.
blog didn't call it by its original name.
Yeah.
Crazy. But anyways, I think we're ready to jump in. Are you
Yeah.
ready?
Yeah, I think we are. We've definitely talked about our snack and drink a lot.
Yeah.
So let's get started. Let's
do it.
Christmas movies.
So, favorite Christmas movies. These aren't in any particular order, but I think I am going to talk about.
Disney Plus ones first.
Yeah, we're going to talk Disney Plus first. But I think I have to start off with a movie that has impacted both of our childhoods, something that we need to watch every single year, which
like-
is The Santa Claus.
Yeah.
It's
Ultimate favorite for me,
it really is. Like, if I go Christmas without watching Santa Claus,
which
is
probably
it
has
even
never
Christmas?
happened.
I don't think it's really, you know, I
Yeah.
don't feel the holiday, you know, magic. And so Santa Claus is one that we both grew up with.
Yeah.
And to this day, sometimes we watch it twice. We'll watch it a little bit earlier on in December, and then we'll watch it like close to Christmas.
Either
as
Christmas
well.
Eve or like Christmas Day. I feel like it needs
Yeah.
to be like
It's so great.
right there.
Tim Allen is perfect in it. The whole, you know, him transforming to Santa and him like coming to grips with being Santa, and then just like fully, you know, playing that part perfectly.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just so incredible. Now, I can't really do Santa Claus 2 and 3.
Yeah, I was just
I
gonna
love Martin
bring that up,
Short too, but I
it totally just lost the the Christmas magic.
It's just
to
off
me.
a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't the same when they made the other ones. Actually, I don't even remember if I saw the third one. I definitely saw the second one. And yeah, when I was a lot younger, and I was just like, I'm just sticking to number one. I'm sorry. Like, number one is such a classic for me. That's definitely, of the Disney Plus Christmas movies, definitely my favorite. It was actually a smaller list on there than I thought there would be. We kind of went back and reviewed a lot of it for this episode just to see kind of what Disney Plus had to offer. And yeah, there was a lot of good, like, there's a lot of good kid stuff, I would say, but not as many of like my classic favorites. So
Yeah.
kind of a bummer, but I guess
Still, hey,
a
if you
lot
have
of
Santa
it.
Claus on there, you're perfect.
Yeah, Santa Claus will always be a favorite, so I'm glad that that's on there. But
Yeah. Another one for me, just because I had a little bit more, I guess that was on Disney Plus. Another one that was on there thanks to the 20th Century Fox deal that happened, Jingle All the Way. I know this isn't, a lot of people don't really watch this, I feel, at Christmas time, but for some reason, I grew up watching this. I always wanted to be Turbo Man. Arnold Schwarzenegger was like the coolest guy when I was younger. I grew up with this. It was just like a perfect comedy. And that ending is so perfect when he, finally is like, okay, I have to, impresses his son. And he's like, I have to live for more than just work. I have to think about my family and all this stuff. And he does this amazing Turbo Man and saving his son and all this stuff. And I love that movie so much. And you didn't really watch it until I think we started dating.
yeah.
And it's one that we'll watch together now, but you just don't really have like the emotional connection.
There's not like a childhood connection for me. I don't know why. I think maybe I saw it like once as a kid. I can't even remember. I might not have until I met you. I can't remember. It definitely wasn't like one of my, favorites growing up or anything.
Yeah.
But I get it being cool for you,
Especially for like a young
growing
boy.
up. Yeah.
Like a little action comedy. It had
Action figure,
Anakin in it.
Yeah,
which
Anakin
he was
Skywalker is a kid.
And I think that was before
Star Wars, yeah.
before Star
I think
Wars,
so.
but
Yeah.
it was so cool in it.
Yeah, it's a cute movie for sure. I understand why you loved it, but
For sure.
I mean there's some good Mickey ones on there. Mickey movies and shorts and, kind of older and newer ones. I always grew up watching the like Mickey's House of Mouse, like Snowed In at, what's it called? Snowed In.
At the House of Mouse.
Snowed In at the House of Mouse. That's right. I think like me and my little brother always used to watch it together when we were younger, and it's totally, it's kind of just like a little kid movie, but it had like the Mickey's Christmas Carol in it and like a couple other cute shorts it was just compiled into one movie. Yeah. And I loved that one, and that's not on there. Mickey's Christmas Carol is on there. And so is like the Pluto.
There's the Pluto one. There's
like
also Once Upon a Christmas, Twice Upon a Christmas.
Yeah,
which are also
but those
short
are
ones,
separate.
but those are separate.
Those weren't a part of the one that I'm talking about.
Yeah, true.
Those were like their own kind of version of the Mickey's House of Mouse one, where they like followed a couple different stories.
I don't know why House of Mouse isn't on there.
I know, that one was so good to me. I loved it. It was like every Disney character.
It was like
at the House of Mouse, like having a Christmas party, and then they get snowed in. It was like so cute. I
like
loved
a
that
film
one.
festival that Mickey was putting on with every single Disney character. They're just like laughing, having a good time. It's
so
like the
cute.
Academy Awards, and they're just like
with all these
it's so
different
great.
like stories that they followed. There was like the Nutcracker one. I loved.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Mickey and Minnie.
Oh my gosh, that was a favorite.
So good. And Donald is the
rat
king. Yeah. Whatever it is. Yeah.
I loved that, and I was really bummed that whole thing wasn't on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
I think we still own it at my house somewhere, but it's like probably a VHS or something, and we don't have that anymore, so can't watch it.
Sad.
But at least they have Mickey's Christmas Carol and a few of the ones that are on that.
And we just rewatched Christmas Carol tonight, and that honestly is such a perfect 20-minute Christmas story.
Yeah,
I mean, everything
they wrap up
from
the story so well.
I love how they have all like so many different Disney characters. It's so fun seeing all of them as background characters and like playing a part in A Christmas Carol. And honestly, just the story, is it Dickinson who does Charles Dickinson?
Probably.
Who does A Christmas Carol? Like that story in and of itself is so great. But how they made it accessible to kids with Disney characters and just, thinking about other people rather than yourself and just trying to, gain riches and all this stuff in life. Like it's cool because I remember even as a kid where some things might have gone over my head with the original one. Like they put it in such a great, they put it in such a great, accessible way that I just loved it. And it just made me appreciate Christmas and family and all that stuff all the more.
Yeah, me too.
And Mickey is Crumpet? Krampus? What is it? Not Krampus. No, what's his name?
No.
I forgot it.
How did we just blink? We literally just watched it.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Krampus or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, him and his little family.
I don't know
Tiny
how I just
Tim.
blanked.
It's like no.
It's a great story. It's always creeped me out at the
Oh my yeah.
Ghost of
Present,
Christmas
Future. Yeah.
He's
Pete-
always
Pete is
freaked
always
me
so
out.
mean,
Of
yeah.
course, Pete would be him, but that whole scene always freaked me out when they're like digging the grave and then the like coffin opens up. It's so fiery
So
and
creepy.
scary.
Yeah.
It scared me no matter what version of that
Yeah.
movie I watched. It's always just been a creepy part. Everything else, I
Even
love.
Marley used to scare me when I was a kid.
The ghost, yeah.
I mean, I love Marley now, and I it's crazy that he was at Marius Nights or like the Disney World one. He was just at one of the after hour parties, and I'm like, I want to meet Marley and Scrooge
Dude,
so bad.
I
That'd be
know.
so
At
cool.
Christmas time, that would be like
So magical.
goals.
Yeah. Oh, it's so great.
Anyways, that I was bummed wasn't on there, but I do love all the other Mickey goodness that they provide on Disney Plus.
Yeah. This is kind of out of left field, but one that was on Disney Plus. I think it was also a Fox movie. But I grew up watching this a lot with my family. And maybe it's a Christmas movie, maybe it isn't. It's under the holiday section at Disney Plus, and there is Christmas in it. So while you were sleeping, I was a big like rom-com, like drama kid growing up. And yeah, I love that movie and how the family just like accepts her in to their life. And then that whole twist of like, oh, like, we're engaged, we're not, I don't know. It's just so funny. And I grew up watching that so much when I was younger. Another weird one too, which still counts, but it's also Fox. Edward Scissorhands.
Weird to me that even counts as a Christmas movie.
I mean,
we were
it happens-
discussing this yesterday, and I was like,
the ending takes place in Christmas, I think, when he goes back to his like castle, I think.
it must just be such a small portion of the movie that it like doesn't it ever even occur to me that there is anything Christmas in it. Like I've seen it a handful of times, and I never ever recall anything Christmassy happening in it. It's just so funny to me that it like
She's like
can make it
telling-
on there as the as a Christmas movie.
what's her name? Winona Ryder's like telling the story when she's older to her daughter or
Yeah.
granddaughter. I think it's like snowing
such a
outside
short
and it's
portion,
such
though. It's like
okay, we have to rewatch it because it's been
Yeah.
a year since I watched it, but it definitely has those like winter holiday vibes. So I
guess.
But anyways,
But on that topic, actually, while we're discussing kind of a spooky
yeah.
Christmas movie, also done by
Tim
Burton, Nightmare Before Christmas
yes,
is
on there as
on
well.
there, yes. And we were discussing how some people always watch it at Halloween and some people always watch it at Christmas.
Yep.
I like, for some reason, never think to watch it at Christmas time. It's always like one of my first go-to Halloween movies.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know why I think we usually watch it at Halloween time? First off, there's not too many Halloween movies, right? But
And not too
when
many
you-
that we love because we're scaredy cats.
Yeah, we're
So we
scaredy
watch
cats,
all
yeah.
the ones that are not scary,
No,
and
yeah.
that qualifies.
But the cool thing about watching it at Halloween is because it's Halloween, it's in the moment, but then also you get a little Christmas. You're like, oh, in about 2 months,
Yeah,
it like
exactly.
preps
It
you.
kind of like gets you ready for what's coming
Yeah,
soon. Exactly.
and watching it at Christmas time, it's like you're like, oh, Halloween's like I already got.
Yeah, exactly. There's not much like Halloween to be thinking about anymore.
Yeah.
We're already like
What is it?
2 months.
364. It's like thinking either to like the next year of Halloween.
Exactly. So,
but-
anyways, for us, Nightmare Before Christmas is always a Halloween movie.
For sure. Do you have anything else on Disney Plus? There's like some specials and stuff like that.
Okay. So we did watch, actually, I think last year and this year, we watched a special that Disney Plus had called Decorating Disney, Holiday Magic.
Super fun.
So that was a
cool.
fun watch. I think, I can't remember now if they do more than just Christmas. Or
No,
is that,
this one's just Christmas.
it is just Christmas. Okay.
Well, plus Nightmare Before the
Oh yeah,
the
that's
overlay,
true. I guess
which
that
they
makes
do
it
start
into
in Halloween time. So
So that's a really fun one because they just go all in depth about what goes into decorating Disneyland and Disney World for
how
the
they
holidays.
transition it into in one night, it's crazy.
It's nuts.
Awesome.
So much work goes into that. I cannot even imagine how many cast members have to be there for that transition. But that is a fun watch. If you haven't watched it yet, we've watched it I think twice now, and I enjoy it. It helps me, even though we can't be in the parks this year, maybe next year, we'll see, for the holidays. At least we get a little taste of Disney magic, Disney park magic through that show. It's a pretty fun one.
Yeah, for sure. I love it too. So we do have to mention a movie that wasn't on our list, but is such a classic. And it's on Disney Plus, but we feel so bad just because this wasn't, and this isn't our fault. If you want to get mad at us, be mad at our parents, right?
yeah.
Be
I
mad
don't
at our
think
parents.
that we could be to blame for what movies we did or did not watch as children.
Yeah. And so one that, is so special to so many people, Home Alone. And we watched the movie and we really enjoy it, but it's not one that we connect to as much because we didn't really grow up with it. And I think the reason why is Santa Claus came out in 1994. We were already born by that time. And so, I think as we were ready to watch movies, that was a little bit more in our time. Home Alone came out in 1990. We were born in 93.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Home Alone came out before Santa Claus?
Yeah.
I did not know
I
that.
think when Santa Claus came out, my parents already had kids. In 1990, when Home Alone came out, they didn't have kids yet. So I don't think that they really watched that movie. And so that wasn't a part of their, thing.
It's crazy
And then
how
so
that
when Santa Claus
happens.
came out, they were already in the mindset of, oh, what are some great, Christmas movies?
And
I
whatever
could
you watch
And-
as a parent and is special to you, you're going to pass down to your kids too.
Yeah.
So that makes sense why, like, if our
That-
parents didn't watch particular movies, then we didn't either.
Yeah. I feel weird. I feel like we need to start putting
Like-
it, slotting it into our movies.
Yeah.
every year.
I mean, it is on there, and we still have a week and a half.
And we still
sad.
have Home Alone 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. They've
Home Sweet
made
Home Alone.
so
We
many
got the
Home
Sweet Home
Alones, like the new one that just
It's
came
such a
out
bummer
this
that the
year.
new one, I mean, we didn't watch it, but it's such a bummer that one
Did not get
didn't
great reviews, did
Yeah,
it?
because I love the kid that is in that. He's in Jojo Rabbit.
Great
which is a great
movie.
movie. Also, you got well, her name is Kelly, but she goes by Erin in The Office. She's in it.
Oh, I didn't know
Erin
that.
from The Office is in that. I think she's the mom, maybe. I don't know. We should watch it. But you know what? Maybe we need to start adding that in there because we don't want you guys to be mad at us. So maybe we do need to start putting Home Alone
Yeah,
in
I guess so.
there. I think so. But should we do some non-Disney Plus movies that are classics?
Actually, before we quite move on, I feel like I'm tying in once again a movie that is another classic that was not always a favorite. I just feel like we were talking about this yesterday when we were kind of making our list, and I was like, there's one that I know is a classic, and I can't say that I dislike it.
I don't know where you're going with this.
Yes, you do.
I
You'll
know.
remember.
Okay.
It's like, it's definitely a favorite.
It's on Disney Plus?
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not.
A Christmas Story. is
on this topic.
yeah, it's definitely a favorite. I know of like a lot of people, and I have watched it multiple times. But it was always like when I was a kid, for some reason, it was always just kind of like boring to me. I just never really thought it was like exciting or like fun. So I would watch it with like family, like some of my extended family always loved it. And like, I remember them playing it like on repeat one year, just like all of Christmas.
Well, it's on
Day.
so on AMC. It just keeps
Maybe that's
going
what it was. They probably just had it on
Yeah.
TV. So yeah, so it was just playing all day, and I was like, okay, like this movie is fine, but I'm like not that into it. And it just kept playing. I know that it's a classic. I mean, I can enjoy it. I think I watched it maybe like a year or two ago, and I was like, yeah, okay, this is good. But it's just never been one that I'm like, let's start out this Christmas season and watch some Christmas Story. Like, I have so many other ones that are like, I'm just so ready to watch them as soon as the season hits.
Yeah, and I think you really, and we're getting into the non-Disney Plus movies if you could tell already.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I was transitioning.
I think the reason why is because I think you love Christmas movies when there is that magic of Santa. And there's no real, Santa's not in it in, Christmas Story, except for, the Mall of Santa. But I grew up watching A Christmas Story and I loved it so much. And as an adult now and looking back, I mean, I might be wrong about this, correct me if I am, but I feel like it was one of the first movies that did something. I don't know. It was interesting because it had him narrating as an adult about his time back there, and he would kind of like go back and forth on like certain things that happen. Like there'd be something that happens, when he's a kid, and then he would like commentate on it, and that hadn't been done before, and just kind of this, coming out in the, I believe, 80s. And having that very kind of quirky back and forth with him, his older self and his younger self, a little bit. And there's just a lot of scenes that were just so kind of off the wall back then. I always grew up loving that. Even though Emily didn't, but
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's just not one that I care necessarily to watch every year.
It's not
I'm sorry.
Yeah. And that goes back to what you grew up with as a kid.
Yeah, it just wasn't like, it's not as special to me. I have my other favorites, and some people are going to agree with me and some aren't. I'm sorry.
I think we should just jump into some of our non-Disney Plus favorites.
Yeah, I have a lot of favorites that are not Disney Plus. Trust me, I am a huge, huge Christmas movie fanatic. Like, I have so many favorites. There's just a few that I know are classic favorites among other people that just didn't make it onto my list.
Yeah. So when it comes to non-Disney Plus favorites, and like I said, these aren't in order of, our favorites to non-favorites, but just we were writing them down as we were going. Elf, we always have to watch every year.
Oh, yeah. Just watched it a few nights ago.
Yeah. I mean, it's just such a fun... It so has that goofy humor. It's goofy and funny, but it also does have Santa, like the real life Santa. So it does have that like magic of Christmas vibe in it as well. Yeah. Even though it is goofy. And
he captures so well like a child's personality. I feel like it's like, I feel like some people maybe don't understand that humor and like just would get annoyed watching like an adult man act like a kid or something. But it is just so hysterical. Like the way that he acts, I love it. That's definitely a favorite for me.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So we've got Elf, we've got Polar Express, which is another favorite of mine. I don't think I saw it like right after it came out, and I didn't really know the story or anything, but now it's like such a favorite for me. It's so special how like he's in this phase of like, is Santa real? Is he not? Like he's leaning more towards not, but he just can't decide on this Christmas what is true or not. Yeah. And then just everything he goes through to like find Santa, and then by the end, I don't know. It's just so sweet. We have yet to watch that one this year, and I'm ready for it.
Yeah. And I like this movie better as an adult than when I did the first time I saw it in theaters. I saw it in theaters with my dad, and I liked it. You know, the animation was pretty different, and it was, you know, really groundbreaking at that time. I hated the elves.
I was gonna say there are some weird aspects of
and then
it, which
the
I
weird
totally
guy
get.
who like drinks coffee on top of the train, who is also Tom Hanks,
And
But-
it's supposed to be kind of like the idea of Santa Claus too, I think.
Oh, I thought it was like someone who ended up not believing in Santa. Like that was kind of his life.
No, he's
I don't
kind of like mocking the kid for not believing or something, I think.
Oh, is that what?
But you kind of like don't know exactly where he stands because he's kind of
Okay.
just like wishy-washy about it. He's
Oh, and then
weird.
the weird, scary marionettes. Like there were some things
There
when
were
I was
some-
a kid, I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
But as an adult, I do, like, I appreciate it so much more because I'm able to see it from an adult's perspective and be like, "Oh my gosh, this whole idea of like trying to capture the magic again and trying to, you know, really, and that ending scene where he finally hears the bell and he finally believes in Christmas again and believes in Santa, and then the parents still can't hear it.
Yeah,
And just
oh
as an
my
adult, that
gosh.
just like, how do I
Oh.
live my life in a way where I can hear that bell?
Yeah,
Is that-
and he says like even his younger sister who was, you know, still fully believing in Santa at the time, he's like, as he narrated, it was Tom Hanks, and he said like, you know, as time went on, even can't remember her name, but the little sister couldn't hear the ring of that bell, but like,
He's still
you
there.
know, I still hear it to this day, and you know,
Yeah,
all
that's
this.
so
Oh,
good.
it's just so magical. It's so sweet.
If Tom Hanks is Santa and the little kid,
He grows up to be Santa.
does he grow up to be Santa when Santa dies?
I don't
That's
know.
that's a
I don't
crazy
know.
twist I didn't even
That
think
means
about.
that Tom Hanks and Tim Allen are Santa Claus.
Oh my gosh. And
That
then they
just
have
hit
this.
Okay.
Full
Anyways,
circle the Toy Story.
okay. So
actually, okay, so I guess I could start with this, I guess.
Yeah.
Since you did the last one. So, Jim Carrey's Grinch. When I was a kid, yeah, I think my parents didn't like this one. I think there was
My
a time
parents
where I
didn't as
didn't
much
really
either.
watch it as much, but then same with Polar Express. When we started dating, you really loved Polar Express and the Grinch, and I'd kind of put the Grinch off to the side for a little bit just because of those stupid little noses in their little mouths. I was just so like, I was like, "Bleh, I don't like that. But yeah, it is. I mean,
still a
especially by
classic.
the ending. I mean, hysterical, by the way. Jim Carrey is so funny in
yeah.
that. But then by the ending, it does give you such amazing like Christmas vibes. And that's a lot of these movies I go based on like, do I feel that holiday magic? And like at the end of the Grinch, it totally does. Like about someone who's so bitter against everything. And I feel like a lot of people have been really bitter in 2020, 2021. A lot of people have been, you know, whatever. And so this is a good movie for all of us to watch to help our heart grow 3 sizes again.
yes, exactly. I agree. And I always loved this one growing up. I grew up on like the old one, like the cartoon one, which I also grew up, make fun of me all you want, but they're always classics to me. I grew up on Rudolph and Frosty and Santa
Those
Claus
are
is
great.
coming to town, Little Drummer Boy, all the like old like claymation.
Rankin Bass.
Yeah, like slow or what? motion,
Claymation.
stop motion.
Yeah, stop motion.
I love all those, and you can make fun of them all you want. I know that they're
No,
pretty cheesy and
those are-
lame, but all those old school like cartoony ones were the best, and I still love them to this day. But that just was bringing me to
and I didn't watch those.
at all.
I mean, I did, but they weren't. It wasn't a thing that my family
such
did.
classics.
And then I met you, and then it became. It's like we adopted certain things.
Yeah.
But see, I adopted that from you. But since we both didn't watch Home Alone, we didn't adopt that from each
Yeah,
other. So it was like
exactly.
it was kind of like the
So
weird
interesting.
thing we had to bring into our life, which we need to do. But
I know. Yeah, we should probably do that. But I grew up watching like the classic Grinch when I was a kid, and then the new one came out. I was pretty young when it came out. Now that I think about it,
It
It's been-
is 21 years old now.
yeah.
The Grinch can finally have a drink.
The Grinch is of drinking age legally now.
Isn't that insane, everybody?
So weird. We were 7 when it came out.
I think that math is right.
Yeah.
93 to 2000. Yep.
Yeah, we were 7. So I did see it. I loved it. My parents, I think, didn't love how like dark they made the
Crass.
Grinch. Like, well, maybe crass too, but like he was just very like they like took his hate and anger like a little bit far in my parents'
that way?
opinion. So they didn't love like.
I mean, he's the Grinch.
I know he's a Grinch,
He has
but
to
I mean,
hate everyone.
but no, in the cartoon, he's just kind of like salty. He's just kind of like, you know, just
Yeah.
a mean one, you know, but
Yeah.
he's not like there's the scene where he's like screaming off the mountaintop each person that he hates and he's so angry. Yeah, I just feel like my parents were always kind of like, this is like a little too much. So they didn't love it, but I always loved watching it. I would always watch it with like my siblings when I was younger. So I always loved the Grinch. Yeah, Jim Carrey's the best, and I thought the remake was really good, and I would be pretty mad if they like decided to remake it again.
Yeah. Well, they did the
did.
animated one.
They did.
They did the animated one
did
with
the animated,
Benedict Cumberbatch.
We did not see.
We did not see that one yet. That is, I
forgot
think the same
about
people who
that.
did Despicable Me.
Oh.
Yeah, so we should watch it sometime just because. But I remember watching the trailers and I was like,
Yeah, I didn't
But-
feel super stoked to see it, but who knows?
you know,
Maybe
we'll
it's
watch it.
good.
Maybe we'll like it a lot. Do you want to do the next one? Because then I feel like you grew up with this one more
Kind
than
of,
I
not
did. But then
really.
also I grew up with this one a lot.
Yeah. The next one is White Christmas, which is like old school classic.
Yeah. Bing and
Can't remember anyone else's
that
names.
guy's name
It
is
would come
so-
to me if I
that
saw
guy's
him.
so funny in it too. And I forget
Yeah,
his name.
they're great. I didn't really grow up watching it. It was really not until I don't even remember now. Gosh, it has been a while, but I didn't grow up watching it. I always like knew the song of White Christmas. And I guess in the back of my mind knew that there was a movie about it, but I didn't see it until I was probably a teenager.
Yeah.
And I love it now, and it's so like it's our tradition every year that the night that we decorate our home for Christmas, we watch White Christmas while we decorate, because it's just one
I think
that
we started that when we got married.
I think we
right?
did, yeah. So it's been like 5 years, and I don't know how the tradition started.
I think I know how. I think we do love the movie, but it was one where we were like, I could play in the background while we.
Yeah, like we could just have it going and not be like, I need to see every
And then
moment
we
of
catch
this
the
movie
amazing
'cause it's the best.
ending.
Yeah.
With the
Yeah, we're always
and
kind of like
everything.
watching it as we go, and you know, like it's such a great movie and I love it, but it is a great just like decorating and getting in the spirit of Christmas. So we always do that.
Yeah. So the next one is I think
One of the best movies of all
best
time.
Movies, yeah, not even Christmas movies. And I
Yeah.
think this is even better as a New Year's movie. Because it just makes you appreciate everything and appreciate life and all those people around you. It's a Wonderful Life is, I think, one of the best movies ever.
Yeah. The world needs that movie so bad right now. Everyone
Yeah.
needs to just be watching It's a Wonderful Life like every day.
Exactly. And to make something so groundbreaking and so deep
And like
back in the
what,
day. Yeah, well,
It was
I
like
think
the
it was-
50s or something.
Oh, and older than
40s?
that, I think. Let me double check.
Yeah, it's an old movie, and it did hit on some
46.
tough topics.
1946.
Wow.
Yeah. And just the story of him as a kid growing up, having his dreams, having those dreams not be able to really come to
George
fruition,
Bailey.
and then also being with the one he loves, and then having a family, but then also still getting weighed down by a lot of other different factors.
Financial
And
stress and like everything that still plagues the world today. Like he was dealing with it.
it's a grand movie, and we talk about grand movies today, and they're like these big epic, sci-fi or like adventure movies and all that stuff. This is just an epic, like a grand movie about someone's life, taking you from the time he was a kid to now, and how I love Clarence and how he comes down
Like
and
the
interferes with
angel
his
who kind
life,
of
and it's
watched all along his life and was sent down to like
right at that moment.
help him when he needed help the most. Like it is just
That
so
is-
well done. That is a great movie.
So incredible.
We're gonna be watching that soon. That's another one that we have to watch like close to Christmas, if not. Like,
and that's
around
one
New
that
Year's.
like we have to watch, like
Totally
pay
watch,
so much
yeah.
attention to, because, and I think it's one that is so good to watch yearly. It's kind of like a reset, like kind of finding your balance as a human, and especially I think during these tough times.
Yeah.
Just
Figuring
being
out
like,
what's important,
wow.
and like
Family stuff.
putting your focus into those things.
Yeah, that is an
Such a
incredible
great movie, guys. Oh my gosh, I'm
love
so
it.
excited to watch that. That's
So
one that
good.
I'm stoked to watch every year.
Yeah, incredible.
Such a great movie.
Do you want to go?
Yeah,
next?
I mean, the last ones are kind of just, not, I mean, they're not
Well,
like,
one of them is like a classic kind of for, I feel like, a lot of people.
yeah, like, okay, Charlie Brown Christmas. Love that one. I mean, it's just so cute and special, and it's like a short one, but it's like probably, I think, like the first Christmas movie we watched this year. We like showed our little boy, and it's like you have to watch it every year.
Yeah,
I feel like, at least we do. I love Charlie Brown Christmas, and it's just super sweet.
Yeah.
The way that he gives life to that little tree at the end.
He doesn't.
But he believes in that little tree, and he wants
does.
to like give it a home, and then they finally embrace it too. It's
Yeah.
just so
Every time
sweet.
I watch like that one or Thanksgiving or any other ones, I just hate Lucy. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, she's not very
Lucy.
nice.
Also, Charlie is just so sad in everything I watch of his.
Yeah,
I was
but he
like,
finally
man,
understands.
But he finally
the meaning of
understands, yeah.
Christmas,
But
which is great.
every single one, he's just always so bitter. But he finds
a
the
little
true
bit.
meaning, so that's pretty nice.
Anyways, we love Charlie Brown Christmas.
You go next, because this is another one I adopted.
Oh yeah,
This is another one I adopted, and I'm not sure how many people will love this
Yeah.
one. But since
I feel
your
like I
family
never-
loved it, I love watching it now.
okay. Probably gonna get some hate for this, especially because I talked down about some of the other classic favorites. But whatever. This was just one that my family saw like years after it actually came out, and then it just became like a staple. But
Say it. Shout it out. Shout it out.
Christmas with the Cranks. It's another Tim Allen movie, and Jamie Lee Curtis is also in it. And it's, maybe you know what it's about, maybe you don't. But they decide their daughter goes away on a trip for like, she's supposed to be gone for a year. So they decide, after a lot of deliberating, that they're going to take the year to skip Christmas and go on a cruise. So they get all kinds of hate for it, and their neighbors are like on their backs about it and everything. And then last minute they have to create Christmas in their home because their daughter calls and tells them that she's going to be making a surprise return with her fiance for Christmas. Anyways, it's like pretty cheesy and lame, but it's just a favorite of my family's. And I just love Tim Allen no matter what he's in, I guess. And Jamie Lee Curtis is hilarious in it too.
Super funny.
So whatever, make fun of
Hey,
me
if you
or
want to
them.
see the original Santa, I mean, not original, but from Santa Claus, tan and in a Speedo, a movie to watch. Christmas
And
with the Cranks.
Jamie Lee Curtis
And
in a very skimpy bikini.
That's the thing you're
Probably
into.
something you maybe don't
You're
want to see
definitely gonna
either
wanna
of
see
those
it.
things.
No, but you know what? The thing I like about the movie is, well, first, I think you need a corny, just cheesy, like, Christmas movie sometimes.
Yeah, what's his
and
name's also
everyone
in
gets
it.
together. What?
The neighbor, why am I blanking on his name?
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd, and he's
yeah.
hilarious.
But when you get to the end and he does that very nice gesture to
Yeah.
his neighbor,
There was a very
that's very,
heartwarming
very
scene.
nice. I love it. So, I mean, I love it. The first time I watched it, I was like, woo. And then now I look forward to watching it. It's just one of those ones where it's like,
I don't know why it
sometimes
became
you just
a
need
favorite.
a good, cheesy, amazing,
It's very cheesy.
funny. Maybe that's kind
It's
of like Jingle All the Way,
ridiculous.
honestly.
Yeah,
for me.
it's my jingle all the way.
Yeah,
Okay?
I feel that. I feel that.
That's what I think too, and it is ridiculous, but I
love
think
it.
I'm
But it
always
makes
gonna
me
love
crack
it
up
because
so
it's
much.
like, honestly, my dad is not like a major Christmas movie person. Like, he's never been a huge fan of Christmas movies, and he always loves to watch Christmas with the Cranks. So I think it's just gonna be special to me because of that. So
That's so awesome.
whatever,
I love it.
Make fun of me all you want.
This one wasn't supposed to be last, but it's last, and we don't have to go too in depth on it.
Yeah.
But I grew up really loving The Holiday with Cameron Diaz and
Jack Black,
Kate Winslet,
and
right?
Kate Winslet, and what's his name?
Jude Law.
Jude Law.
Yeah, that's a good. Like, it's such a nice rom-com.
Yeah.
Where both. It's pretty, there's a lot of different storylines in it, and I love it. I love where both of the ladies in the film end up. And it happens during Christmas and
very
seeing
heartwarming.
also seeing in, I think it's in no, it's not Ireland, it's just the
It's
UK,
England,
right? It's
yeah.
just England. Loving Europe and England and all that stuff. We got to go to some small towns in kind of that area. Seeing Christmas during that time was always just so nice and fun, and I love that about the movie, just kind of bringing you to like a destination, Christmas at a destination. Really,
Yeah.
really fun. So yeah, I really love that movie, but there's so many other good Christmas movies that I feel like we haven't watched or just haven't brought up. There's like Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah.
There's a lot of old ones that I feel like we need to watch and get to know a little bit better and maybe adopt those into kind of our rotation. But
Yeah.
I want to hear from you guys, if you have any of those special Christmas movies that you watch yearly, please let us know. We would love to watch them and bring them into our, into our movie routine, because I feel like we need to start earlier and earlier every year.
Yeah.
And see a lot that we might have just never seen if someone hasn't told us about them. So we would love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, there are so many good Christmas movies out there, and I feel like a lot of times I have my like classic favorites, and we literally like made a list on our phones of like, okay, these are the ones we for sure have to watch.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a lot that I've probably blanked on that I know are favorites. And I think we should review and think about them again, because I seriously love Christmas movies so much. Nothing gets me into the spirit of Christmas more than that. And especially the ones that we've watched forever, because seriously, just like Disneyland, you have a connection with things that you grew up with and that you loved growing up. I mean,
and then revisiting them,
Yes.
yearly. Yeah,
exactly.
so nice.
Each time you rewatch it, it's like a little memory from childhood. And that's why there's so many favorite Christmas movies of mine, and why this season is always my favorite.
Love it.
Love it.
Yeah. Well, hey, thank you guys so much again for following us, listening to our thoughts on Christmas movies. And we want this to be a two-way conversation. Don't just listen to us. Like, let us know what you guys love on any topic too. When we're, past the Christmas season, just talking about something else, please let us know your thoughts, because we would love to hear them. But we just want to thank you around this time of just talking about family and loved ones and all that stuff. We thank you guys for following along on our journey that we just started randomly
Almost a
earlier
year
this
ago.
year. Yeah,
Coming
almost
up
a year
on a
ago.
year.
So crazy, and you guys have been,
So
interacting with
supportive.
us and supporting us, and so it really means so much. So when I think about those things and just being thankful for a lot, we are so thankful for all of you, and so we want to
are.
thank you guys, and we will see you guys. I think maybe sometime next week, or maybe the week after, because next week is Christmas, but definitely maybe earlier the week after, and. Yeah,
we're gonna take the week of Christmas off, I think, and just enjoy time with family and just that season. But we'll be back after Christmas, and we'll have some more exciting stuff for you guys. But yeah, like Chris said, thank you guys so much for following along with us and being a part of this journey with us. It's been so much fun, and like he said, give us your opinions on some of this stuff.
for sure. And you guys have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, all that stuff. And we will see you guys probably once more before the end of the year, but definitely in the new year. We love
Definitely.
you guys, and we'll talk to you guys
We'll
soon.
see you later, guys. Merry Christmas.
Bye.